Good evening and welcome to another Showcase Sunday. I'm Matt and this is Delta V, Rings of Saturn. An independent game, currently just a demo version because it's not been released yet, of course. About asteroid mining, among other things. I'll just lead with the Steam description about this game. The year is 2273. The unexpected discovery of valuable minerals within the rings of Saturn has sparked a thriving space excavation industry. You control an asteroid excavation ship hoping to make it rich out on the rings. But soon you find out that all is not as it appears. Experience a hard sci-fi story backed up with real physics and science. And we hop right in. The Rings of Saturn, 2273, 16th of September. So, this is our ship. It's a top-down game. And that ring shows which direction the ship is pointing. I can click to make the autopilot turn my ship. That little dash and the excavator are up front. The inner ring and the square are the setting for the autopilot. I can steer or let the autopilot do all the stuff. Problem is, as you can see, it keeps working with the RCS thrusters. Your ship has 8 of those. Reminds me a bit of that old joke about how many wheels does a car have. And with the arrow keys you can steer your ship with the autopilot, or you can switch on over to manual. And for that you have 8 general movements. That is forward, backward, strafe left, strafe right, and turn. It's actually 6 directions, whatever. And then you have the booster. Everything is also in the top right. There you have all your equipment. When it activates, it gets highlighted. And those things are asteroids that you have to mine. I'm just not doing it right now because I have played this a little bit before. And it's better. Let me just fire the main thruster. Give me some more speed, velocity. I played this a little bit before and I find that there's better loot to be had further into the ring. Now I am a little safe, which is why the game blinks, or why the screen blinks. Not a little safe, I'm a little fast, which is unsafe. Going at 102 meters per second. Maybe I should slow down a little. Okay, what I was about to say. Better loot is found near bigger asteroids. Well, there we have some loot already. Let me just zoom in. Okay, that was a mistake. I fancy. And so was this. Okay. Let's ignore that loot that flew away. But I can already show you the next part. Up here we have the list of our equipment, and it's not visible very well, but we have 3 of our thrusters have gone yellow. Let me just check out the onboard maintenance system, and you have 2 parts for each piece of equipment. Also, apparently we're still moving, so let me just kill my velocity. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, we've got 2 things for each. One is misalignment for the thrusters and the other is wear. And you can improve the stats for one by sacrificing the other. At least in flight. There is also a station that you start from and can fly back to, where you can repair your ship in the full version. In the demo it just ends your game. But let's just... okay, no, maybe that's not a good idea. Our nuclear reactor has... that's yeah, let me finish one thought. On the station you can repair it, but in flight you can just jury rig stuff, which is why the onboard maintenance system, I think that should be an E. No, wait, main? Yeah, instead of AI it should be an E. Yeah, in flight you can jury rig it. We also have a nuclear reactor which can spring a leak and get the fuel rods jammed. And a reactor leak means your reaction mass. You have all kinds of stuff here, propellant, mass driver ammo. Your reaction mass goes down over time. Otherwise it only goes down when you are firing your thrusters, and with a leak, as you'd expect, goes down as well by itself. What I just did was fire my mass driver at the asteroid, and I used my excavator to pick up this little piece of stuff, or to extract it from the little asteroid. And the cargo hold on the bottom left tells us what we theoretically have. W, it's the chemical symbol for it. I just don't know what it is. And water. Oops. I keep messing this up. Now you can destroy asteroids, as you've seen, by using the mass driver, which action and reaction being equal pushes your ship back as well, or you can use your excavator, which is especially useful with the small things, because on the right you also have a point that says mass driver ammo, and we are at 980 kilograms of that, and each shot fires 10 kilograms, or a 10 kilogram projectile. Which is why I prefer using, there we go, using the excavator for the small stuff. Now this one just flew off, so did this. Ouch. And the damage you take on collisions is also based on your velocity relative to what you impact. Oh, come on. So is the change in velocity from your or imparted by your thrusters. Okay, we caught all our stuff. Now you see in the bottom left there's blue stuff and white stuff moving around in our cargo hold, and that is red stuff too. That is all the stuff we just picked up. The chunks of ore, which you might notice is a problem. When I brake or fly backwards, everything flies forwards in the cargo hold. And if I were to open my excavator and fly backwards... Okay, that doesn't work right now because it's all getting stuck. But if I mess things up while flying backwards, there we go. We have something in our excavator. And there go 2 chunks of ore. So you need to make sure that you don't lose your stuff when picking up new. thing is, when you break an asteroid, the energy used for it gets imparted onto the chunk of ore that gets thrown out. Well, at least my ship didn't break, which means it will fly away at speed, sometimes. Boom, hit it. Also, the mass driver shoots straight ahead of your ship, which means you have to be a little careful with your aiming. Yum yum, send more stuff. Nope. Let's turn on the candle. Also in the bottom right you have an overview of your ship. The colored area is a representation of how much reaction mass you have compared to your possible maximum. Oops, that didn't sound good. Okay, that kind of worked. I have to admit, I have not done this very often, that whole that whole knock one asteroid into another thing. But yeah, on the bottom right, the arrows are your thrusters, location, state, and so on. Let's grab that and let's eat it. Yum yum. Send more ore. And then reminds me of an old postcard. And this is a situation where the excavator, that little clamp up front, doesn't break the asteroid. So let's just hit it with the mass driver. Boom. And oh! That was already a small asteroid. Yeah, the bigger the asteroid, the more mass driver ammo you need to break it, of course. Or the bigger an impact you need. I mean, if you use your ship, you can of course probably even break big asteroids without using the mass driver. But okay. But that is for damage reasons a bad idea. Now the main objective of the game is to, or at least now, is to gather loot. Don't get yourself destroyed in the rings of Saturn. And even dive further in, because I think we've got all the small stuff sorted out here. We could break a big one, but I may want to... Oh, there's also another trick. We can just, if we think things are going too fast, we can also, for one thing, use the mass driver to slow down, and for another, use the autopilot. If you go too fast, I think 150 meters per second, is that right? Then it will activate the emergency autopilot. Which is to say, it will activate the autopilot and slow you down. So on the left here we have, along with the velocity and our acceleration, also the depth in the ring. On the right we have a visual representation of where we are in the ring. Aye, that was bad. We just lost 2 thrusters. Those went to red. Whoopsie. That's not a good thing, as you might imagine. Wait, was that some ore? Well, we didn't completely lose the thrusters, but yes, it looks like ore. Yum yum. Meh, it was water. Water is pretty much all but useless. On the other hand, I think it's good reaction mass. You can just check what's up with the thrusters. Yeah, they're misaligned to hell and back. Oops, wrong. I guess that's okay though. It's when the wear maxes out. And we also see on the bottom left that our cargo hold is getting a little full of water. Got 18 cubic meters of water. Now I keep forgetting, but that's not liters. That's 1,000 liters? Yeah, I think. Okay, come on. Come on. Coming, there we go. And okay, there was no thruster on that side, so I may have taken some reactor damage, but nothing too bad, I don't think. Let's just slow down a little bit. Oh, come on. That's the thing. If those chunks of ore hit asteroids, of course they slow down or even get stopped completely. Oh shit! And that's the end of the demo, pretty much, almost. It's an EMP ship. Firing EMP at you. Frying your stuff, your electronics. However, I am unwilling to let myself be fried. So that's just GTFO. With half a cargo hold of loot, various materials. Let's... Okay, well, that's what I meant earlier about using your ship to break asteroids. The big ones. It works, it's just not suggested. Also, that's what I meant about missing or having to aim. Of course, I could have used the autopilot for aiming purposes. Porpoises. Yep, wrong. Now theoretically it should be possible to kill the EMP ship with the mass driver, but I've not yet tried it. Also, our reactor is in a pretty bad shape. Plus we need to get those 10 kilometers out of the rings again. On the other hand, I don't see the ship anymore, so maybe we're safe for the time being? about we break a little? Okay, wait. I keep messing up my directions here. Left and right, especially when I'm pointed elsewhere. But that's not a surprise to anybody who's seen me play KSP, isn't it? Is it? Oh, nope. Well, there's another question. It's also theoretically possible to kill the EMP ship by asteroid. Because, you know, damage done. Right. Nope. We were supposed to stay in. Go. There's supposed to be upgrades later on. Maybe even one that makes your excavator better at breaking up those small rocks. Or all rocks. Hashtag not all rocks. Well, at least I slowed the ore down. No! Damn it. Oh, come on. Well, that's two of them now. Now there's two of them. This is getting worse by the minute. No, was it by the minute? I don't think so. Leave a like if you get the reference. But yeah, right now the demo is a little bare bones. Not much of the story, of course. Maybe I should get out of the rings before I get totally fried, for example. Well, let's see you follow through here. Well, did that follow? Sucks. Fiddlesticks! Oh. Might help if I use the correct thrusters. Let's see about this emergency autopilot. Maybe not though, because I pretty much nuked my ship now. I'm very low on reaction mass. Of course, I think my leak is getting worse, so that might explain things. Honestly, I have no idea what the little thing above the reactor means. The circle around the reactor is the reactor temperature. When you use your thrusters, it goes down a little bit. Ouch, which is a good thing when the fuel rods are jammed. But how deep are we? 4 clicks. But what's above it? I don't know. Of course, it's a bad thing if the fuel rods are jammed in a way that reduces reactor temperature, because then it goes cold, and when it goes cold, you're dead in the water. That's also a way to end the demo. But yeah, all my front thrusters are pretty much fucked up. The hull is not in a good shape either. This might be an escape pod or something. Or the cockpit. Which, seeing what I did to the craft just now, is not surprising. Let's light the candle and head on out. We're approaching dangerous velocity and preparing emergency autopilot. And the return trajectory was calculated. And that is the return trajectory to Enceladus Prime, the station near the moon of... I don't know. Is that Enceladus? Anyway, this is the station, and this is the end of the demo. So that was just a short look at Delta V, rings of Saturn. Yeah, that's the stuff that's available in the station later on. The mineral market to sell your stuff, repairs, tuning, improving a ship, upgrades, dealer, buying new ships like the one with the EMP, crew, and launch ring dive is going back into the ring. The ring dive is pretty much the ringer term for going into the ring, and a ringer is somebody who works in the ring as a miner. So let's go back to the main menu to see that that line again. A demo version of game in development. Improvements are inevitable. And the dev has been very good about improvements, I have to say. Updating about, well, every other day. I mean, on average, there was a day where he updated twice, and there was also once it took him 3 or 4 days to update, so yeah, but updates are coming fast. The game is scheduled for release in the first quarter of 2019, but the demo is available on Steam, and that's the thing that gets updated. There's also a Discord. I'll see about putting links into the video description and try to not forget doing that. With that said, thank you and good night.